right or left?
This little Miata. No, get off your phone.
See that over there.
Here's one of those little...
Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Creep.
I didn't even know I was driving the big tail bus up here.
The original 2.5 feet. They're straight.
That was it. Straight to what?
Welcome to Manhattan. Happy hour Monday through Friday. 5 to 8.
Oh, yeah?
Look behind you. Look behind you. Where? That's a naked Indian. You should have seen the front side. Yeah. I'm filming.
Oh.
If the doors open like that, lady, stop in and say hi. They like to see tourists.
All
They'll
right.
give you a free T-shirt.
All right.
Got a free T-shirt. Many years, beginning in like the 1930s, Hell's Kitchen was one of the high crime areas of the city. It was a bad neighborhood. See, back then it was ruled by a mob called the Westies. But the neighborhood has changed a lot. I mean, it's changed so much that they actually changed the name of the neighborhood to Clinton after Dwight Clinton, not Bill Clinton. That's the Worldwide Plaza on the left right here. That was the site of the third Madison Square Garden to be built in New York. You know, the one where Marilyn Monroe sung Happy Birthday to JFK back in the 60s. Now it's a big office building with record companies and a couple of television studios. Worldwide Plaza was constructed in the 1980s. It's a new building by New York standards. And of course, to the right is Times Square and the Theater District, which we'll be passing through momentarily. Really? Can I stay there?
Let's give him my name. Let's give him my name.
6 blocks in front of us is Columbus Circle. If you come from Europe, or England or Australia, you call them roundabouts. We call them traffic circles. It's the same thing. And you see that traffic circle up there's got a big statue of Christopher Columbus. Excuse me? What's the matter? Well, if you're going to talk, you got to talk on the microphone so everybody else can hear.
That's right.
There's no secrets on this bus. Yeah, that statue of Columbus up there, it was a donation to the city. It was donated in 1892. This brown building on the right corner, the one with the flags on it, that's the oldest concert hall in the United States. Carnegie Hall. Carnegie Hall was constructed in 1890. And we almost lost it back in the 80s. They were going to tear it down. Jackie Kennedy saved it.
Right there.
See, this is why you can't stand up on the bus.
Yeah.
On that right corner is the Park Central Hotel. That's where they used to film The Honeymooners with Jackie Gleason. Ground zero, as you'll see in a second. Yeah, we're 2.5 miles away. That's the Freedom Tower right there. That's the new building that's going up at Ground Zero.
Oh, yeah.
So we're 2.5 miles away. And this on the corner, this is the memorial I was just talking about. It's done by school kids all across the country. Saw some ladies down here yesterday put the flowers out too. That's nice. Nice to put some flowers. And I would recommend, if you have any extra time on your hands while you're here, just come down to the village, take a nice little walk.
Yeah.
Because I would say between Soho and Greenwich Village, they're really two of the nicest areas in the city. You know, this area here used to be all farmlands. They started building and developing in this area right around the mid-1700s. Still open to, they're still recording at that place. That right there on the left, that's a little community garden. But you know, we don't have backyards in Manhattan. Rooftops and fire escapes are what we get. This next street coming up on the right, this is Bleecker Street. All the nightclubs and restaurants on Bleecker. 3 blocks over to the right, behind Washington Park. If you want to hit some nightlife, this is the place to come tonight. So all the businesses were down here in Soho, manufacturing all kinds of goods and merchandise, till about the 1950s. Somewhere in the mid-50s, the businesses started to move. By the mid-60s, Soho was deserted. And I mean it was deserted to the point that the city actually started making plans to knock down a lot of these. And we are going to make a stop in a couple of blocks if anybody does want to hop out in Soho. And real quick, I don't like to make this speech, but you know, I got to make a living. See, Hadi and myself, we're members of the service industry. So just like cab drivers and waiters and bartenders, we depend on tips to make a living. So if you enjoyed the tour, there's a tip bag on the dashboard. Put a couple of $100 in there, will you? There was a girl by our bus stop. She was selling those Gucci wallets for $30. I offered her 3.
Did you get it?
She told me to get lost.
Oh.
And I did, but as I was walking away, she says, "Do you really want the wallet?" "All right, give me $5. You can have it."
Crap.
I bought 2. Now, once we get across Canal Street, we'll be in Chinatown. And this Chinatown in Manhattan, it's the 2nd largest one in the United States.
cologne.
Commercial spaces are being turned into condominiums. Starting price, $1.2 million. See you later. I know you do, but that's why you're gonna marry me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're making our approach to the beautiful South Street Seaport. Right in front of us is the East River. Across the East River, you're looking at the beautiful borough of Brooklyn. Downtown skyline. Take a look, folks. Look to your left. To be built in New York City, 1909. Turn around, folks. Look behind you. Turn around and look behind you. Right here to your right. Take a look. Some say that we have the second biggest Chinatown in the United States of America. Where's the biggest?
California.
Some say San Francisco. I believe ours is bigger. That's right, little Italian restaurant. And ladies and gentlemen, trust me, they're all delicious and very, very generous with their entrees. When you guys come back right here to your left, these are the wholesalers for the Chinese restaurants. Take a look. You can walk in. So these wholesalers buy a nice big bag of fortune cookies, take them home or eat them on the plane. I'm sure you're tired of eating those peanuts. Delancey Street, we're going to be heading into the Lower East Side of Manhattan. As we cross the Delancey Street to your right, you're going to see the beautiful Williamsburg Bridge. Now, the Williamsburg Bridge, ladies and gentlemen, is named after Benjamin Franklin's nephew, Jonathan Williams, who was an engineer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Williamsburg Bridge actually actually the second bridge to open up in New York City, 1903. So the very first bridge was Brooklyn, 1883. 20 years later, the Williamsburg. It's 1903, and then 6 years later, the Manhattan Bridge, 1909. Everybody look to your right. The first thing you're going to notice is that the Williamsburg Bridge is red. Look. It's red. The Manhattan Bridge was blue, and the Brooklyn Bridge soon to be white. Red, white, and blue. Now here, in this neighborhood, this is where all those immigrants came to settle. When they first came to America, ladies and gentlemen, to New York City, at one time there was over 70,000 tenement homes. The tenement homes here were 2 to 3 flight walk-ups, one window in the front, one window in the back, and they literally used to house 10 to 20 people in one apartment. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest boom of immigrants to ever come to New York City at one time actually took place. A lot of people thought it was the Dutch because the Dutch were here first. So and he got sick. They didn't know what section to put him in. Oh, come on, guys. That's my best joke. I knew where I wanted to put him. Let's just say we're happy he's out of here. Huh? After September 11th, the city literally stopped all construction work. There were no buildings being built for almost 6 months here in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, they give Donald Trump the opportunity to hold the title as the most expensive building to live at in New York City. Has been their choice of hotels. Not only does the president stay here, but every September, the United Nations shuts down, ladies and gentlemen, for the United Nations Summit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 5 great movies was filmed inside this hotel. If anybody remembers, Eloise, The Plaza Suites, Crocodile Dundee, Arthur, with Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli, and the most famous one of all, Home Alone 2. For Dennis to come to a complete stop, and again, thank you for choosing Gray Line Sightseeing Tour.
It's at Central Park.
All right, folks, come on down Central Park. Dennis, hold on, Dennis, hold on.
There is one coming. A horse? Yeah, a horse.
Are the people getting off? Please don't forget us on your way out, so don't forget us on your way out, guys. How you doing there, young man? As good as you, sir. Here in Oriental Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, the cheapest apartment is $12 million. The penthouse to the right tower is owned by the second most eligible bachelor in the world. It took 100 artists. Just gets this building out by hand. Look at the detail work. Opened up in the year 1908. The Allman Court. To your left, Carnegie Hall. Right next to Carnegie, the famous Russian tea room. Right, sit. The Park Central Hotel, ladies and gentlemen, to your right, made famous because this is where they assassinated one of the most famous mafia